Good morning, Barrett Jackson. Thanks for being here at Palm Beach. This is where the world comes to celebrate the automotive community. And because of that, Shelby American and automakers like it come to Barrett Jackson to unveil their latest, greatest cars. And we have the team from the West Coast that has come here. We have behind me Gary Patterson, the president of Shelby American. We have Vince LaViolette, vice president of operations. Tracy Smith, executive vice president of Carroll Shelby International, and Cash Singh, director of dealer marketing and sales. And we are here to make history. And we're doing that because of the two people that are standing here. Craig Jackson, chairman and CEO of Barrett Jackson, and Steve Davis. And Craig, can you tell us what we're here to do today?
We are going to do an unveil. I'll let Steve talk about the significance of it. But we are very honored to be here to unveil a brand new car. And I was asking some questions earlier, sort of trying to piece it all together, what's under the cover, but I can't wait to see it. Is it time? Let's go ahead and cue. Let's take the cover off and let everybody see the newest Shelby.
There you go.
There you go. The 650 Shelby.
Welcome, everyone. Hopefully you like this car. It is a bad boy right from the start. It's the next one. It's the most contented Super Snake we've ever done. It's 830 horsepower plus. It's got magnesium wheels, less unsprung weight, rotational mass, so forth. So it's got an aluminum hood. It's got our own all-carbon fiber front fenders with functional venting. It's got side skirts, rear wing, and diffuser out of carbon fiber. Everything that you see now is functional. It's not just stickers and scoops. This thing has content like we've never produced in a Super Snake before. We're going to build 250 of those for the U.S. market this model year. Pricing will be announced in May. They'll be available through selected Ford dealers throughout the country. If you want to see this, and we're going to do a complete walk around with Vince and I immediately following this, it'll be just outside at the Shelby display. So if you go on the other side of the big Ford banner and Barrett Jackson banner, our Shelby Semi is right there, and you can come and see this car.
Steve, you want to talk about?
Well, first and foremost, let's give a big round of applause, folks. A hee-haw out there for Shelby bringing this incredible car, giving us the opportunity to do what the big boys in the automotive world do when they unveil these incredible vehicles. As you know, Shelby, Carol, Gary, Scott, the entire team, Vince, everybody down there, Cash, Stacy, such an amazing team. They came all the way from Vegas, the West Coast, to do this in Palm Beach. Normally something like this, you have to travel the world, you make a lot of reservations, you wait, you anticipate. But to see this unveiling here, the car is so significant on so many levels. On this very stage, we had Carol unveil one along with some very important people right here on this stage. Actually drove it in with a little peephole. We peeled it back, so we have some incredible history. These cars and what they represent really epitomize the culture that we live and breathe today. The byproduct of what we do on this stage is what drives the hobby. Thanks to each and every one of you and the incredible team here at Barrett Jackson. We are honored. Shelby, we love them to death. They are on the cutting edge, the tip of the spear of performance. We talk about the golden age of muscle cars, and we see the 70 Shelbys, the 65 GT350s, and the Corvettes, and the Mopars, and all the beautiful cars. This is the platinum age of muscle cars. This cannot continue, folks, unfortunately, but they just keep taking it to another level. So while you can, savor the moment and think about what we're looking at and what we're doing here. God bless you for being here. Thank you for Shelby allowing us to participate in this world-class event. And Craig, it's awesome. And all I want to know is what color?
And the great thing is it still has a stick in it, so
Absolutely, automatic or stick. And if you want to learn more about this car, we're going to take it out to the Shelby rig. If you're a member of the media, we're going to do a walk around and right after the national anthem. So please come and see it. And again, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Barrett Jackson, for giving Shelby American the platform to introduce this car live and make history.
This is the 650 chassis Shelby Super Snake. Doesn't get any better. We knew this was coming down the pipeline, but I wanted to see what you guys did with it.
Yeah, and you can get coupe and convertible too, so we actually have a convertible out there that you can see as well. So this thing is a bad boy. We're excited to see it. We're excited to see everybody out there, so come on out. Thanks again, Barrett Jackson.
All right.
Thanks for all of you folks out there for helping us make this so successful. Thank you.
We are making history once again. This is the new 2024 Shelby Super Snake, and you have the team from the West Coast that have come here. Before I introduce our speakers, I would like to also introduce Cash Singh. Cash is the Director of Marketing and Sales for the dealer programs, and he and Vincent Barger here are from Las Vegas, and they would be happy to introduce you to the right people who can make one of these go in your garage. We also have Tracy Smith, Executive Vice President with Carroll Shelby International, the parent company, and Executive International Director of Team Shelby with 80,000 members worldwide. If you're not a member of this community, I'd have to ask why not, because we have more fun than any other club in the entire world. But today we are here because of these fabulous cars. And in fact, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, which is Gary Patterson. Now, Gary's going to give you a little bit of history because, as you know, there was only one in 1967, but they're making a couple more these days. Gary has been with Shelby since 1996. Every vehicle that is rolled out of there has had his fingerprints on it, sometimes unintentionally. But his nickname is the Director of Fun. He's a true blue enthusiast who doesn't wear a tie like I do. His suit zips up the front. Please welcome the President of Shelby American, Gary Patterson.
Thanks, Scott. And thanks to all of you guys. Enthusiasts and the media people. I see a lot of you guys that are out here to see the next one, which is great. We're also here to celebrate 60 years of the Mustang. I mean, who'd have thought, right? 60 years of Mustang. I remember, believe it or not, my father driving in with his 64 and a half high-performance Mustang convertible. So that's been a while. A lot of water's gone over the dam since then. I remember 65 Shelbys. The first Super Snake we ever did since 67, that car was a track car that was made to test Goodyear tires at high speed. It had a 427 in it instead of a 428, a little bit more power. We took that mantra in 2007. We took a GT500 that Ford had largely built, that we had looked at and so forth, and we were all happy with that car, but it only had 500 horses. Can you believe that? I mean, if you had a 500 horsepower car in the 1970s, you ruled everything. So what did we do? We bumped it to 725 horsepower, and we added wheels and tires and brakes and suspension and custom hood and things like that. Okay? Fast forward again. Now it's 2024. This car is by far the most highly contented Super Snake we've ever done. In addition to those things that made that 2007 Rockstar, this car has that and oh so much more. And that's what's really, truly exciting. And when you look about this car, and Vince and I are going to walk through it here just in a minute and talk about the different features that it has and the design cues that it has and why that this car not only has content and not just stickers and scoops, but why some of this is so functional, right? So it's not just a pretty face, it's very functional. When you look at this car from 50 feet away, you can look at it and say, that's a Shelby. That's what we want. That's what people said in 2007. When everybody out there is tuning a Mustang, or they've got their own version of a high-performance Mustang, when you looked at a Super Snake in 2007, you knew it was a Shelby, and you knew it was a Super Snake. When you look at this car, the first thing you think of is that's a Shelby, and it's a Super Snake. And that's the message that we really want to send to people. And to talk about that a little bit more, we're going to do a little tag team here. with my counterpart in crime, right? Vince LaViolette, Vice President of Shelby American, and he's also been around for well over 20 years. And the neat thing about that too is both of us, as Scott mentioned, our favorite suit zips up the front, and it comes with a helmet. It doesn't have a tie, so you have to raise the tie once in a while. This is what we'd like to do best. So I'd like to really kick it off with Vince talking about the design of this car and why it's functional and some of the features so that you can see it's not just somebody putting stripes on or a hood scoop on the stock hood. This thing goes far, far, far beyond that. So Vince, why don't you kick this off and tell us a little bit more about this design and how the team, decided where stuff was and things like that. Vince was largely responsible for the creation of this personally. So Vince, why don't you take it up?
Very good, thank you. I'm going to show the next one. Sure. This one here.
Well, we can do this.
Scott, is that we're okay to cover? On cover? Let's pull off the cover so we can go ahead and see what this convertible version looks like. There you go. All right, very nice. So when we did this car, we wanted to do a lot of different things. The main thing was function. So we sat down, we looked at the car, we first got the original cars, the 24s, and we said, we want to do this, this, and this. How are we going to package all this? What are we going to do to make it better? So the first thing we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure we got proper air into the car. Make sure that we were able to, balance the car out in the front end, give it that aggressive look. But not only give it an aggressive look, make it functional. So everything we did on this car has function and form for a reason. Nice big front splitter on it. Nice wickers going up on the sides. We actually opened up the right-hand side venting on this car. So you notice on most 24s you don't have that. On ours it's very balanced. We're able to put coolers on both sides. Traditional style Shelby front grille with the bar in the front. Plenty of air coming in on each side for our twin intakes on our supercharger. Brake ducting, all factory brake ducting in it, so we didn't, hamper anything there. You look at the hood. Hood's made out of aluminum. Very nice hood. We did some very nice extraction vents on it, all carbon fiber. Another nice thing is to save weight on this car, we actually have carbon fiber fenders also. We painted them over because we didn't want to take away from anything on the car. We want to bring the style, run it all the way down. Next to the headlights right here, you got these little areas right here. These are actually vents. We're actually bringing air into the engine compartment and we're ventilating out the back. The nice vents on the back of the fender are all functional. So everything's functional on this car all the way down. We try to lighten everything up. Very exciting. You look at these rims on here, these are actually magnesium rims. 19.5 pounds. So what does that mean? That's faster into the corner, better braking, better acceleration, less rotating mass. These are the kind of things that we wanted to bring to a street car that you can bring to the track and have a great day with. So these are just some of the exciting things on here.
So a lot of things that we're going to talk about today, and Vince is going to continue on in a minute and talk about some more of the exterior functions. But I'd like you guys to also consider is when we have the brochures out here, you'll see things that you can't see. Like you can kind of see the hardened wheel studs, okay? What you can't see is much of the Borla exhaust, but you can sure hear it, right? You're also going to look and you can see the upgraded rotors. Okay, it's got new rotors, got Shelby on the hat. Our new snake design is the center cap. So if you start looking at all the little Easter eggs, there's a whole lot more content in this car. To support 830 horsepower, it also has 1,500 horsepower capable half shafts in the back. So now you don't have to worry about it when you want to do that massive burnout, right? That thing will still do those kind of things. One of the reasons also that we've got some of these barriers up is we wanted to show you guys the car. It'll go into production in June. You'll see it midsummer out on dealer showrooms. But we don't have all of the production parts just yet. So some of the items here actually are 3D printed. But we'll have production parts here by the end of next month, first part of June. So we'll actually go into production. They will be in dealers' things. But when you first look at this thing, most of the stuff is really good. There's a couple of little things that you might see that are just a little off, and it's because it's in a 3D printed and it's sitting in the sun. So keep those things in mind. Production parts, you're going to see a lot low quality with the gaps, the fit and finish, and those kind of things. So Vince, why don't you tell them a little bit more about some of the features of the car?
So we redesigned the rockers on the car. The reason we wanted to redesign the rockers is we wanted to sharpen up the side of the car. When you look down the side of the car, you can actually see how it's got a nice sharp line on the back right there. When you're farther away from the car, you look at it, it actually pulls that quarter panel and changes the look of the quarter panel. The rear deck lid on the car, you see the nice fin that comes off the deck lid itself. So we went with the European style look in the back, try to change the back end, try to bring that back fin back a little bit, incorporate it into the deck lid, and then of course the Super Snake with the second wing up on top. Very nice, all carbon fiber, all aluminum stands, moved forward on the deck lid. So the rear diffuser on the car is all carbon fiber, fully functional, and the Borland exhaust system.
Yeah, mentioning that, we'll start this thing up again so those that didn't see it on stage can actually hear it, because it's a bad boy. But carbon fiber, but the double dual exhaust tips that we worked on with Borla are 5-inch. So that's part of what gives it that real big, beefy sound. So that's really neat. And then when you look inside, there's a lot of little things that we've done with the leather on the seats. It looks like snakeskin leather, those kind of things. When you open the door, you're not going to be able to see it today in the sun, but when you open the door, it's got a cool snake, Shelby stuff, comes out, and you can see that puddle lamp out here in the carpet. So you can see that stuff at night, not so much during the day. So we've taken the S650 and we've really taken it to a whole new level in every way. So we're here to answer any questions that you guys might have. And talk a little bit more about the car. We'll put the hoods up. We'll get these things started. But with that, we'll turn it back over to Scott before we actually do this.
Would anybody like to take one of these and put it in their garage? We have a way for you to do that because the VIN number 1 of the 2025 Super Snake, VIN number 1, is going to be part of a sweepstakes that JDRF is having. And so we have Gail Sandoval over here with JDRF. Gail, how much are tickets for the sweepstakes? Starts at $10. For $10, you could end up with one of these cars, and you get to pick any of the standard Ford colors, fastback or coupe, fastback or convertible, manual or automatic, and it will be VIN number 1 of the 2025, all for only a $10 donation to JDRF, which will help wipe out juvenile diabetes. In the meantime, if you're a member of the media, please come see me. We'd love to get you your own time, your own interviews, and talk about coming to Vegas at some point and maybe driving one of these bad boys. And for all of you that are interested, we have now put out the literature that Gary's talked about right over here on the table. Talk to Tim or talk to Cash or Gary or Vince. They would love to tell you more about these truly bad boy cars. We appreciate you being here, and with that, Gary, I think we're ready to wrap up.
Well, thanks. If those that want to stick around, we can show you under the hood. And once again, we'll start one of these things up. But, what you're going to look at, and there's other things under the hood that you might recognize, like adjustable caster camber plates, badging, heavy-duty cooling system for bigger intercooler, bigger cooler for the supercharger, and more radiator cooling capacity, and so forth. So when you really start looking at this, you're willing to answer any questions you guys want, but take a look and have any questions. Anyway, we're glad you guys are here.